What's up, everybody? Guy here with Total Geek Live, and as always is the Gene Simmons crew of Baltimore, Kaiser, and Danny, and all this is very distracting. All right, fine. Yeah. Happy, I succumb to peer pressure.
Ah!
Thanks, Goldblum. So yes, Venom. We finally got a decent trailer last night. Yeah, I don't know what it is with Sony. They make crappy trailers because this is much like that Ghostbusters thing that happened a few years back where they do a trailer about Ghostbusters, but there's no ghosts. And now then they do a Venom with no Venom. So they need to fire that guy.
Effects weren't done, so let's just give him this.
Let's just give him some people standing around.
Whoa, I'm getting robot talk from everybody.
Robot talk. Okay. We're ruining all the things. Thank you for distracting me. So anyway, there is an actual trailer where you see an actual Venom. Wow, what a concept.
Amazing.
So
yeah.
Who'd have thought that such a concept would work in this day and age? All right, but there is a trailer and stuff happens. So let's go check that trailer out, shall we?
That's right. So I've got it pulled up here. Everybody's got theirs.
Sir.
We're at the second mark.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Before the trailer.
We're going to hit play now.
And you know what's talking about that?
Long ago.
In a world.
So they got the alien origin.
Alien?
Alien.
Oh, more than one.
Well, isn't it stuff it's a merge of the planet of the symbiotes and
the guy you work for is the evil.
Maybe.
I don't work for him. My firm works for him. Are you gonna behave yourself tomorrow?
I told you I want to do my job.
I'm appreciating her wig.
I follow people that do not want to be followed.
Oh yeah.
What about the allegations that you recruit the most vulnerable
and I like Riz
that end up killing people?
Your time is up.
Finish, Mr. Broad.
Was that a threat?
You had to learn how to hide in plain sight. I'm pretty good at it. But you
yeah, like this whole part here, I didn't realize that was Tom Hardy speaking,
Foundation.
or that was Eddie Brock.
Right.
I was like, who's talking?
We call them Sym-BYE-Yote.
Yep.
And not because he wasn't on screen, it's because that voice and him.
Is the key to our
There's a huge disconnect, right?
Yeah. Oh, we missed the Sym-BYE-Yote.
Sym-BYE-Yote, my lord. Sym-BYE-Yote.
I'm hearing a voice.
Oh! That hurts me every time I see it.
I'm gonna need Mr. Drake's property back.
My arm turned into CG.
There's another one. Ah! How about that?
How would we do that?
Smoke it.
Uh-oh.
For the sedacious
You're gonna
cyst.
stay. You will only hurt bad people.
Not cool, man.
We can do whatever we want. Do we have a deal?
I feel like the Venom voice needs like a late night talk radio show. It's got that smooth voice that can keep you going all through the night.
The one thing you hold most dear.
This jazz train has left the station.
Be extremely afraid.
What the hell are you? We are Venom.
That.
Absolutely. Venom. Jean-Claude Venom.
Well, they got the look right.
They even got the logo right. That's impressive.
Yeah.
They didn't use the PlayStation font.
Right? As long as every time he talks, it doesn't like open up to show his face, just so you see Tom Hardy's face because they paid for Tom Hardy. Sorry, Topher.
Topher Grace. That was like the worst, most disappointing Venom. Finally, my dreams of realizing Venom on the big screen were Topher Grace.
That 70s show?
Yes.
I had no problem with him as the anti-Peter Parker. It worked. You know, it was just having to show his face every time he talked. We didn't need to. He was Venom. He wasn't Topher Grace at that point.
Right.
Then he was Topher Grace with goofy teeth.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Topher Grace.
Yeah, yeah,
All right. That's in the past. This is the future. Let's
Yeah.
get now.
Now.
yeah. Because that Spider-Man 3 would be a whole other video of grievances. All right, so I am a big Venom fan, and I have been since like he debuted in the 80s. Even like back in Secret Wars when Spider-Man got the costume from Battleworld, I was like, I love the black costume, and then he like the evil Spider-Man. So I was super excited, and he's like one of my top 3 villains of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, we were talking earlier, I was excited for Spider-Man 3, and then Spider-Man 3 happened. And then I was not excited for Spider-Man 3 or Venom. And then, like I said at the beginning, it's like, here we are, we have this Venomless Venom trailer. And as I said, Sony, whoever does your trailers needs to be fired. I don't know. They're awful. But then again, you made the Emoji movie, so you've got a lot to account for. So, but
we're not here to list all of Sony's sins. This would be a very long video.
Exactly.
It'll be hacked too.
But I'm certainly really excited. I think they finally got the look of Venom right. I think he looks cool. He looks menacing. He looks alien. He looks slimy. I'm really excited. This looks to adapt the Lethal Protector series, which was his first standalone comic, which I've already heard people talk about how it's based in San Francisco. What's that all about? Well, that's where Lethal Protector was based. So they didn't make up some weird thing. That actually happened in the comic.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That happened in the comics. Your complaints are invalid. So move on. But I am cautiously hopeful. Spider-Man Homecoming put a good feeling in my spidery heart, and I'm hoping this will continue that train of goodwill. Baltimore.
I'm also cautiously optimistic about it. I have a few bothersome moments. The voice, I don't understand Tom Hardy's voice. I don't think I've heard him speak the same way in any film, and that may not be a bad thing. It's a thing, though. And
right, like we were talking earlier. I don't know what he honestly sounds like.
Yeah,
like,
he's and he's also he doesn't physically feel like Eddie Brock to me. Mm-hmm. I'm okay to look past that and kind of go along for the ride to see how everything else goes. I love Michelle Williams. I'm kind of surprised to see the indie Oscar Queen in something like this. Mm-hmm. We'll see how that goes. Riz, I'm a big fan of Riz. I think he's great. I'm excited to see how his character and how that goes. Jenny Slate's interesting. Sym-BE-Yote, notwithstanding. And I actually don't mind it because it's kind of interesting choice. And I know a lot of people have a little, problem with it. But we'll see. We'll see. We got a couple months on this.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in all of that frame of mind as well. The hopefully optimistic, the voice. I mean, if anything you see them in, from Bane to the Jew, to the Jew with Peaky Blinders, to what he has 5 words in Mad Max. I haven't seen Taboo yet, but I really want to. And even when he's like does press tours, it's almost like he stays in that character voice on press tour a bit. So
that's surprising.
I honestly, is this what Tom Hardy sounds like? Or, what's the real Tom Hardy?
Let's find out.
Let's give him a call. Hey, Tom. Yes.
Yes.
You've reached a Hardy residence. So yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic. Danny?
Right. I'm right there with you guys. I'm cautiously optimistic. I don't like Eddie Brock's voice in this. I'm going to do some research because I know it sounds like somebody else I've heard before. So I'm going to research on that and see if it was an actual Tom Hardy character or somebody else. But it's very familiar to me, and it's irking me.
7 days later, Danny with no sleep, just headphones on, just like, I can't find it. I know I've heard it before.
Oh, believe me, I'll find it. And I don't know who does the Venom voice, but
it's supposed to be him.
Okay.
He's supposed to be doing both of them.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good on him. I hope that's the case. It's
Definitely.
it sounds great. I prefer it over the Eddie Brock voice for sure.
Yeah.
I don't really know about some of the other actors in this. To me, they don't matter because this seems to me that this is like this is an origin film. So the more that we get of Eddie, and then his relationship with the if you were to put it in an egg, it would be a Sym-BEE-Yote.
And here we go with the puns.
Wow. Wow. Okay, there we are.
But the relationship that he has with that and the process that he's going to go through with becoming Venom and everything. I'm very excited and interested about seeing that relationship develop. And kind of see what really is going to be the true antagonist in this that is going to let our anti-hero kind of, because it's an anti-hero film, but hero is still part of that term, so there is going to be some type of good to be done by this character, and I'll find it to be I'm interested to see how that plot line develops.
So here's a question for you. Do you think they'll unleash Carnage this early, or do you think they'll wait for at least a sequel before they start getting into that territory?
Woody Harrelson is in an unnamed role.
I've heard that he might be Carnage as well.
Yeah.
And
can I have my old bartending job bag, Sam?
Yeah.
I think it would be so too soon. Let Venom shine on his own with his own film. Let that happen. And then, I mean,
they're gonna
throw it in an after credit thing or something. But don't put it in the film, the full film itself. I want this to be Venom.
That makes sense too. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a feeling that he'll be teased somewhere along the lines.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because if this is also playing off of the Planet of the Symbiotes as well, it's multiple symbiotes.
Right.
So you're going to see other Venom creatures that he'll probably fight. More than likely, the big bad will be some form of a Venom or symbiote creature that he'll have to fight. Most likely, probably made up for the movie or something. But not Carnage, because Carnage and Venom is like Joker to Batman. It's like throughout the years, that's kind of what he's become. So, he'll be like the Dark Knight Returns. Maybe Carnage will be.
He'll be the Stinger.
Yeah.
Like a little tiny plip of Venom goop will go off and start climb up to someone else in a crazy ward or something like that. So they'll do something like that.
Right, and then not to go off track, we could do the quick trash or cash, but my concern is Venom's origins have always is tightly woven to Spider-Man. He's just gonna be solid black. If he has a spider, it won't make any sense. If he has a spider, it's like, how are they going to work that in?
Yeah.
Does Spider-Man make an appearance? And it's like one of the best kept secrets in Hollywood,
It's a yes and no at this time if Tom Holland is going to be a part of this film.
Right, yeah.
Well, and you bring up a great point there, Kaiser, because it is tied in. Part of Venom's powers are tied into Spider-Man's powers, too. So, will we be seeing that, or is this a different type of Venom that we've never really seen before?
Yeah, it quite possibly could be. Yeah.
Well,
Okay. Let's lead off this trash or cash.
Well, I think it's pretty safe to say it's going to be a cash for me. As I said, Venom is easily one of my top three. The other would be Joker, and depending on which day you ask me, it might be, like Lex Luthor or Green Goblin or Doom. Those are my other things. The number three goes back and forth, but yeah, he's one of my top favorites, and I just want to see him done properly. That's all. There's a lot of stuff that will, have to wait and see in this film. It looks definitely much better from the second trailer, so I feel a lot better after that. So we'll see. I mean, I'm in for this. I hope they don't let us down. I'm feeling a little better about, the whole Spider-Man Sony thing right now with Spider-Man Homecoming. I don't know how or even if this will fit into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Again, like the Tom Holland thing, that's a yes and no answer. If the money's right, they'll make it fit somehow.
Right. Yeah.
But right now, I'm in. Please, for all that is good, do not screw this up.
Yeah. For me, I'm a cautious cash at the moment. I have very little faith in Sony, and I know this is a probably 90% Sony, 10% Marvel thing. So that kind of makes me a little shaky about how it's going to end up playing out. The voice is weird. It just there's some things that are just like, I'm not super on board. I'm intrigued, but I need just a little bit more to sell me on it. So, $2 cinema?
What more do you need? I'm doing the best I can. Oh, it's lunch? Okay.
I'm actually, again, I'm in the same wavelength with you there, B.
Okay.
Just based on this trailer, trash or cash, I'm like, maybe midweek matinee.
Yeah.
2, 3 p.m. Depends on how you're feeling at the time. And
exactly. I'm not going to wake up early for it. I'm not going to stay out late for it.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to miss lunch for it.
Right.
You might have a light lunch, a sensible dinner. We'll see.
A little Venom on the side.
I'm in the same boat. I think this will be a midday matinee. Something around like the 2 o'clock time. Just give it some matinee cash. Usually with me, it's like I could even, here's a little tip, guys. If you're part of the AMC stubs, then if you go on matinees on Tuesdays, it's $5. $5.
I miss being part of the matinee stubs and all the free popcorn and stuff. I don't have an AMC close by, so.
That reminds me, I really need to join that. I've been lazy about that. Oh, that's another tangent. I've been putting it off.
On a whole nother tangent about all of those different kinds of things.
See what you started? I was fine until I was on point.
Yeah.
So, but
all right.
That's mine.
So things overall are looking pretty good, if a little cautious for the whole gang. It's a trailer with Venom. Finally, it only took 2 to get to that point, but we got there, and yay! And he looks good. And let's just hope that they do right by him this time.
Yeah. But
that is our trailer trashin for the new Venom movie coming out this fall in November. And, October. I lied. You all fell for it.
I couldn't let you get away with that. I'm an anti-hero.
So you'll have to choose. You could see it in November. So really, you got options. You can see it at that 2-3 cinema that Kaiser and Danny are going to go. You might skip breakfast. You might not. Depends on how you're feeling that day.
I'm with you.
You might, you might. But anyway, that's Venom, and we're all excited. So, a thing. But yeah, we're in. So just until that next time, it's all geek to us.
Bye.
Bye.
Am I in the movie? You don't know. Oh, there's no.
Well, he kind of. I mean, even if he gets on too close to Venom and they're fighting, and Venom like wraps around him and kind of absorbs him, and then spits him out to where he's absorbing some contact with him.
I see.
So basically just his tendrils, right?
Yeah.
Tendrils in my back and tendrils in my arms. Tendril man
in my butt.
Tendrils in my butt. That's where I thought you were.
That's my new jam. Tendrils in my butt.
I mean, if we were doing a scientifically accurate spider creature, that is where the that's where we go, would come out.
Tendrils in my butt. Yeah, tendrils in my butt.
Oh Lord.